Ganapataye Namaha.
Of Vishwa Mandir. Vishwa Mandir is manifestation of Vishwa Yogi Vishwamji Maharaj's vision.
Om Gam 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 Gananatha.
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 Vighna Vinashaka Gananatha.
Vighna Vinashaka Gananatha.
Vidyadayaka Gananatha.
Vidyadayaka Gananatha.
Siddhipradayaka Gananatha.
Siddhipradayaka Gananatha.
Vidya Siddhi Buddhi Pradayaka.
Vidya Siddhi Buddhi Pradayaka.
Vijaya Ganesha Vinayaka.
Vijaya Ganesha Vinayaka.
Om Gam 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 Gam.
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 Vision of universal integration, peace, love, brotherhood, service to poor and needy people. Vision of propagating universal human dharma and yoga. Vishwa Yogi Ji is personified form of love and compassion. Vishwa Mandir is situated on a 50-acre site 17 kilometers from Guntur, Andhra Pradesh on National Highway 5. Vishwa Yogi Ji works towards providing medical facility to people through Vishwa Yogi Institute of Medical Science. He has helped many students in pursuing their studies, and he has also been instrumental in helping the construction of a mosque as well as a church in the Guntur district. The 8 doors of Vishwa Mandir signifies the idea that whatever path you take, the goal of all religions is one and the same, and that being universal brotherhood and love. His birthday is observed as Universal Integration Day by his devotees. During one such celebrations, we got the opportunity of meeting many devotees who shared their experiences. We also talked to Vishwa Yogi Vishwamji Maharaj on various aspects of sadhana and various doubts. In the vision of Vishwa Mandir, we present a series of these inspiring interactions along with glimpses of the devotional festivities at Vishwa Mandir. Gathered to celebrate Baba's 65th birthday, and it was in 40s that his birthday celebrations were started. Request her to share with us how she feels when first time his birthday was celebrated and this time the difference and comparison.
మొట్టమొదటిసారి స్వామి బర్త్డే చేసినప్పుడు విశ్వమందిరంలో 65 సంవత్సరం చేసినప్పుడు ఎటువంటి తేడా చూస్తున్నారు మీలో? అప్పటికి ఇప్పటికి ఎన్ని మార్పులు వచ్చాయి స్వామి బర్త్డే ఫంక్షన్స్లో?
అప్పుడు ఒక చిన్న బాబుకి మేము ఎలా చేసుకుంటామో అలా చేసుకునేవాళ్ళం. పొద్దున్నే లేవగానే స్వామికి తలకి నూనె పెట్టడం, హారతి ఇవ్వటం, కూర్చోబెట్టి అందరం తలకాయ రుద్ది స్నానం చేపించటం, కూర్చోబెట్టి బిందెలతోటి స్వామికి నీళ్లు పోయటం, తర్వాత మళ్ళీ మంగళహారతి ఇవ్వటం, తర్వాత మీటింగ్స్, ఏదైనా ఎవరైనా పెద్దవాళ్ళని పిలిచి వాళ్ళకి సన్మానం, అలా అంటే ఒక చిన్న బాబుకి ఎలా చేస్తామో అలా చేసేవాళ్ళం. ఇప్పుడు అసలు ప్రభంజనం. అసలు స్వామికి కొత్త బట్టలు ఇద్దామన్నా కూడా స్వామికి టైం లేదు. అవన్నీ కవర్లలో పెట్టేసి డేట్లు పెట్టేసేసి అక్కడ పెట్టేసి వచ్చేస్తాము. స్వామి స్నానం చేసి కట్టుకుని వచ్చేస్తారు. ఇప్పుడు చిన్న బాబల్లా పెద్ద బాబు అయిపోయారనమాట. అప్పటికి ఇప్పటికీ స్వామి అది అంతకంటే ఇంక తేడా ఏమీ లేదు.
The first time Swamiji's birthday celebration was done, it was more like a birthday of a small baby. You know, they used to offer the morning harti with oil applied on the head and give full bath, and then again give harti, and then in the evening they used to do sanman, felicitate some learned people, and they used to have a small meeting with some important people. So it was more done in a spirit of how you would celebrate the birthday of a small baby. Now, of course, it's a huge movement. The birthday itself is a great event. It's a worldwide event, and and there is not even time to offer new clothes for Amma. So they put in date-marked envelopes all the new clothes and leave it in the room, and Swami appropriately, wears them. That was the kind of change, the sea change that happened.
There are so many experiences that you have, and along with the experience of being with Baba, when so many devotees come and Amma takes care of so many of us coming from different parts of the world, how taking care of this responsibility becomes possible for her, because she also has to exert a lot in taking care of the hospitality.
అమ్మా, ప్రపంచం నాలుగుమూల నుంచి జనాలు వస్తున్నారు, చాలామంది వస్తున్నారు. మరి వీళ్ళందరి సంగతులు మీరు చూస్తున్నారు ఈ ఫంక్షన్స్కి వచ్చినప్పుడు. ఇదంతా ఎలా సాధ్యం అవుతుంది? ఇంత రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ మీ మీద ఉంది, ఎంత ట్యాక్సింగ్గా ఉంటుంది, మీకు టైరింగ్గా ఉంటుంది, అదంతా ఎలా సాధ్యం అవుతుంది?
అందరి కృషి అండి. ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళు నాకు వెనక నుంచి సపోర్ట్ చేస్తారు. నేను ఒక్కదాన్ని బయటికి కనిపిస్తాను, అందరిచ్చే అభిమానం. అమ్మ అంటే ఎంతమంది పిల్లలు ఉన్నా అమ్మ అమ్మే కదా, అంతే. కానీ పిల్లలందరూ కలిసి చేస్తేనే అమ్మకి హెల్పింగ్, లేకపోతే అమ్మ ఒక్కతి కూర్చొని చేయలేదు కదా. అలాగే మా అబ్బాయి చేస్తాడు, మా అమ్మాయి చేస్తుంది, మా వారు చేస్తారు, ఇంకా నాతో పాటు ఉన్న వాళ్ళందరూ చేస్తారు. అట్లా ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళు డబ్బు కానివ్వండి, హెల్ప్ కానివ్వండి, లేకపోతే ఫోన్ల మీద నడిచేది కానివ్వండి, ఏది చేసిన ఇప్పుడు అలాంటి పిల్లలు ఉన్నారనుకోండి, ప్రేము, శ్రీను, ఇలా ఉన్నారనుకోండి, వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా పొద్దుగూకులు నాతో పాటు ఉండి నా హెల్త్ చూసుకుంటూ, స్వామికి కావాల్సినవన్నీ చూసుకుంటూ అలా చేస్తారు. కాబట్టి నేను స్వామికి అన్నీ చేయగలుగుతున్నాను.
Well, Amma is a visible face of all the activity. The whole, the entire extended family is behind it. Especially Amma is mentioning about Prem, Sai, and Sinu. They are like children, and they work day and night from morning to late nights wholeheartedly. And several people, everyone who comes here, Suresh, Madhuri, everyone works continuously, and just like in a family, mother is a visible face, but unless every kid also joins in, she won't be able to manage the thing. Same thing here, with all the combined effort of all these people, dedicated effort, things are happening.
What is your age?
47.
47. 50 years back, 50 years ago, where were you?
I don't know.
But after 70 years, 80 years, where will you be?
I don't know.
No. Before 60 years, your body was not there. After 60 years or 70 years, your body will be no more. But in the middle, you are here now. From your mother's womb, every minute, every month, every year, you are changing, your body is changing. Your body is changing. But now your life is the truth. So you have to make your life fruitful. That is very important. So don't teach the youth or anybody this is a dream. You know, this is correct. There are 3 states. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. Jagrat. If we are awakened and enlightened, it is Jagrat Avastha, Jagrat Avastha. Swapna Avastha. If we go to dream, if we go to sleep, and if we get anything dream in it, it is called Swapna Avastha. Swapna. Next, Sushupti. Sushupti means without getting any dream, if we go to sleep, that is Sushupti. There is a 4th, Turiya Avastha. 4th state is Turiya Avastha. That is the state in which the yogis and Siddha Purushas live. Although they are awakened, although they are getting any dream or in any sleep, they are in Turiya Avastha, above all these 3. They won't get sleep, they won't get dream, they won't get any Sushupti also. All time they are in Turiya Avastha. Turiya Avastha means connecting their mind with the universal mind, and with that connection getting the power and becoming powerful and peaceful and spreading power and peace to everybody. So there is no the 3 avasthas actually. Because of our ignorance, the Sushupti and Jagrata and Swapnavastha are coming. But take one thing. Sushupti is just like charging. If we are in Sushupti Avastha, we are charging ourselves. In that Sushupti, if we get any dream, we can get the dream of any spiritual person or kshetra or any story which we want to receive. A guru coming into the dream, avatar purushas coming into the dream, it is reality. But it is reality, we are thinking that it is Swapna Avastha or Sushupti Avastha. All avasthas are Jagrata Avastha. Turiya Avastha is keeping ourselves all time, every minute, Jagrata, it is called Turiya Avastha.
Now it requires some kind of discipline and grace to be actually able to appreciate the significance of Turiya Avastha. We may or may not understand it, but we may try to know more about it. But we definitely know, Baba, that when we sleep, sometimes we do have dreams, and some people also have visions in their dreams of their Ishta Devata. Maybe they have the vision of Lord Krishna, Rama, Lord Shiva. Some have vision of their gurus, avatar purushas, and I also heard some of the devotees have seen you in their dreams. And my question to you, Baba, is it possible or does it happen that yogis make use of dreams also as a kind of a medium to convey some message or to cure the disease of some of the devotees?
It is possible. It is possible. It is certain. So, through vibrations, just like your ITV, if you made a program and if you transmit it from the tower, it is going, and when a person is, if he is having a TV set and if he put on the channel, he is getting that program. The same way, if a guru, if a spiritual yogi wants to show anything to his disciple or to any person, the correct time is when he is sleeping. Sleeping means having connection, charging time, that is the charging time. Then all the conditions will be in a peaceful condition. So then through transmission, he is getting like something we are seeing in the TV. In the same way, the disciple is seeing his guru or any avatar murti or anything in the dream. It is true, it is not false, it is true. To tell something, to make them realize something, to make confidence themselves, to create a confidence and self-discipline, and to make them to follow the right dharmic path. The gurus, spiritual leaders are doing like that. It is scientific truth.
This science is beyond the comprehension of normal mind, but there is such a science
This is called a television or a telepathy. You are telling telepathy, television, telephone, telecalling, telefilm. This is also like that.
Now, there is this interesting area of dreams. Many times when we get up, we forget what was a dream. But sometimes we have that memory very strong with us, and we want to share. And leaving aside the special occasions when you have seen Guru or Avatar Murtis in your rooms, we have different kind of dreams. Now there are two ways in which the word dream is used. Sometimes we say that this is my dream, that is related to the goal of life also. So people say that I realize my dreams by accomplishing something. But each individual have different kind of dreams. My question to you, Baba, do we have some way of selecting the dream that is my dream, or somebody plants dreams in us? And if so, then who is planting different dreams in different individuals and designing their lives in different ways?
Dream is having different definitions and meanings. So Abdul Kalam also telling the youth, dream and try to fulfill your dreams. That is it. In Telugu, కలలు కనండి, కలల్ని సాకారం చేయండి. కలలు కంటం అంటే డ్రీమ్. You youth, dream and try to fulfill your dream, to succeed in your dream, to make it a certain in your life. That means we have to think, we have to aim certain things to be done, and we must work with self-discipline, self-support to succeed, to get our dream a reality, to make our dream a reality. So that is another definition. But dreaming means, dreaming is not an illusion and illusion. Sometimes some unknown forces who are responsible to get the dream, showing something to do this and that, to show our future also. That is possible.
Baba, now there's this next question is connected to two references which we already have. There is one sukti from Vedas, Satyam Vada Dharmam Chara, so speak the truth. And we also hear that truth is unutterable. You cannot speak the truth. Though you in the beginning said that truth is that which is unchangeable, but we had this reference of Jagrat Swapna Sushupti, and then we got this suggestion that whatever is truth, whatever we see is truth. But this which is visible is continuously changing. So if this truth, which is ever changing, if we want to say, then it will become a lie because it's going to change.
Truth at any time does not change. If anything changes, that is not a truth. Truth is always truth. That is the definition of the truth. So, Satyam Vada Dharmam Chara. This is just like giving a declaration to the people who are living in the society, to make them to follow the dharmic path, the right path. They are telling, don't tell lie. We are also telling the children, oh boy, oh child, oh daughter, don't tell lie. Don't tell lie. Tell truth. Truth. Truth only. You tell truth only. Satyam vada. Dharmam chara. You move on the dharmic path only. You move on the dharmic path. The first time also, the Satyam is jnanam only. Satyam is jnanam only. To get that jnanam, we have to tell the truth. We have to think the truth. Suppose if you want to become a surgeon, a surgical knowledge, we are seeing only the surgical knowledge and lesson from the books, from the teacher, from the professor, everywhere, from everywhere, he wants only that kind of knowledge, the truth. And he is filling his mind with the truth only. That's why to get the goal, these are the path. Satyam vada. If we follow, if you know the path, not telling any lie, only telling the truth, a truthful life, and don't harsh anybody, harass anybody with your vulgar language, make your tongue clean, not cleaning the tongue. That means don't use harsh words, don't abuse any person, don't envy or jealousy, don't tell anything with jealousy or envy or anything. Pure words, you tell only pure words, truth only, and you follow the dharmic path only. So put into practice the dharma and tell the truth, satyam vada dharman chara, then you become a part and part of universal jnana, and you become the universal jnana itself, and you will become the truth himself itself. That is the real meaning.
Baba, just to clarify a little doubt, you just said that truth never changes, correct?
Yes, correct.
And we were also...
Truth is always truth. If anything changes, it is not a truth.
And while we were considering the lifespan of an individual, which could be 80, 100, let's say, whatever it is, so 20 years ago, what I was, I am not today. So I have changed, and I'm going to change again the way I am seen, the way I think. So am I truth?
You are you before 50 years, you were you, and you are you, and you will be you, and you are you always you, not the body. Body is changing. Your body is changing, but you are not changing. So the truth inside your body, the will which is existing in your body, the soul, the spiritual power which is existing in your body, it is eternal and immortal. It is not changing, but the cover of that spiritual power, the body is changing, and body is going, and body is coming. But the inner soul, the inner spiritual spark, will is not coming and is not going. It is always only one. It is part and part of the ocean of the knowledge. Just like one take a bubble of the water, drop of a water in the ocean. It is ocean. If you take this, it is a drop, but it is not a drop. If it mixes with the ocean, it is ocean. That is the real meaning.
So that real meaning leads us to the last question of this conversation related to truth, and as we try to connect with that which is mundane and that which is spiritual, and maybe there is no difference between the two, but we want things which are interesting and entertaining, sometimes also makes them attractive. So going by whatever little we have heard or know about truth, and if truth is unchanging, then if it is the same, then if you speak about truth, it may not be interesting because it might be repetitive. So don't look at me that way, but I want to ask you how expression of truth can be interesting. Rasmay.
Truth is truth, It may be decorated and dressed by any person as he like or as he like. But truth is always truth. In this circumstances, in this situation, I want to tell you one incident happened in New Delhi a few years back ago. One lady approached me when I happened to go to New Delhi to attend the international seminar, their conference. Swami, I am a drop, you are a ocean of. She told like that, I am a drop and you are an ocean. I smiled and told her, Mataji, there is no ocean without drops. Mataji, I want to ask you one question. What is that, Swamiji? Suppose a drop wants to become an ocean. What is the simplest and easiest way? She told this and that. Then I told her, the simplest, easiest way for a drop to become an ocean is simply jumping and merging and mixing with the ocean. Then immediately it is becoming ocean. Away from the ocean, it is a drop. If a drop jumps and merges and mixes with the ocean, it is not calling as a drop and it is calling ocean, it is becoming ocean itself. That is the secret of yoga. That is the secret beside the truth also. Truth is becoming untruth. Why? It is coming away from the truth. We are making the truth decorated with something and we are thinking like that. If we remove all the coverings, then truth is always truth.
So truth is always truth, and it is truth that when Baba says these things with conviction, there is this spark of willingness to know more about them and to realize truth in our life in our own unique way, because that is important to realize it. Otherwise, it becomes something outside, and it needs to be practiced in a way that the life is enriching all the time, and how truth fulfills us and leads us towards the main goal of our life was something that we heard from Vishwayogi Vishwamji Maharaj at the ashram Vishwa Mandir in Guntur. Thank you very much, Baba, for sparing your time.
And my divine blessings to each and every one on the earth, in this world, and especially the people who are waiting ITV.
Of Vishwamandir. Vishwamandir is manifestation of Vishwayogi Vishwamji Maharaj's vision of universal integration, peace, love, brotherhood, service to poor and needy people, vision of propagating universal human dharma and yoga. Vishwayogi Ji is personified form of love and compassion. Vishwamandir is situated on a 50-acre site 17 kilometers from Guntur, Andhra Pradesh on National Highway 5. Vishwayogi Ji works towards providing medical facility to people through Vishwayogi Institute of Medical Science. He has helped many students in pursuing their studies, and he has also been instrumental in helping the construction of a mosque as well as a church in the Guntur district. The 8 doors of Vishwamandir signifies the idea that whatever path you take, the goal of all religions is one and the same, and that being universal brotherhood and love. His birthday is observed as Universal Integration Day by his devotees. During one such celebrations, we got the opportunity of meeting many devotees who shared their experiences. We also talked to Vishwayogi Vishwamji Maharaj on various aspects of sadhana and various doubts. In the vision of Vishwamandir, we present a series of these inspiring interactions along with glimpses of the devotional festivities at Vishwamandir. please request her to share with us how she feels when the puja in such an elaborate fashion is performed and yagya takes place here. Internally, how does that make her feel?
అమ్మా, ఇంత శాస్త్రోక్తంగా పూజలు హోమాలు జరుగుతున్నప్పుడు మీలో ఎటువంటి భావాలు జరుగుతున్నాయి? ఇంత పెద్ద హోమాలు పెద్ద పెద్ద పూజలు అవి జరుగుతుంటాయి, చాలా మీలో ఎటువంటి భావన కలుగుతుంది?
అవి మనము బయటకి ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ చేసేవి కాదండి. మనం ఆనందించవలసిన విషయాలు అవి. మనకి అలా చేస్తున్నప్పుడు మనకి చాలా శక్తివంతమవుతాము. దానివల్ల మనం చాలా పీస్ అంటే శాంతిని పొందుతాము, ఆరోగ్యాన్ని పొందుతాము. ఇవన్నీ కూడా ఇంత శాస్త్రోక్తంగా చేపిస్తారు స్వామి. ముందు నుంచి కూడా మాకు అన్నీ విష్ణు సహస్రనామం, లలితా సహస్రనామం, భగవద్గీత కానీ మంత్రపుష్పం కానీ అన్నీ స్వామి కూర్చోబెట్టుకుని మాకు నేర్పించి మాకు అన్నీ ఎట్లా చేసుకోవాలి, ఎలా చెందాలి అని అన్నీ స్వామి చెప్పినవి. వాటి వల్లే మేము చక్కగా ఆరోగ్యంగా ఉండగలుగుతున్నాము. పొద్దున్నుంచి సాయంత్రం దాకా స్వామి ఓం శ్రీ సాయిరాం గురుదేవ దత్త అనే మంత్రం మాకు చెప్పారు. ఆ మంత్రాన్నే ప్రతి సెకండ్ మేము ఉచ్చరిస్తూ ఉంటాము. వీటి వల్ల మాకు చాలా హాయిగా ఉంటుంది.
Well, Amma says, all these religious functions give tremendous amount of peace and give strength and health to all the people. And Swamiji does all these things very meticulously, all these major events, religious ceremonies. And in fact, he has trained all the devotees of mine, all the initial devotees in Vishnu Sahasranamam, Lalita Sahasranamam, Mantra Pushpam, and all these things. He used to train them. And now we are able to do all these things nicely. But they are all intended for the benefit of everyone, to bring peace around for the health. And Swami also mentioned yesterday for the health and everything.
Gam Shreem Lakshmi Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Gam Shreem Lakshmi Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Gam Shreem Lakshmi Ganapataye Namaha.
And was she aware about Baba when he was doing 21 years of penance, and after that he came out in open to meet everybody? So that, and secondly, when did she got this mantra Om Shri Sai Ram Gurudev Datta for the first time?
అమ్మ, ఫస్ట్ టైం ఓం శ్రీ సాయిరామ్ గురుదేవ దత్త మంత్రం ఎప్పుడు స్వామి ప్రసాదించారు?
దత్త జయంతికి ఓం శ్రీ సాయిరాం గురుదేవ దత్త అనే మంత్రాన్ని స్వామి చెప్పారు. ఈ సంవత్సరం ఎట్లాగైతే మనకందరికీ ఈ ధన్వంతరి మంత్రాన్ని చేసుకోండి అని ఎట్లా చెప్పారో, మాకు ఫస్ట్ టైం అంటే 86 ఫస్ట్ టైం హనుమత్ జయంతి ఉత్సవాలు చేశాము. తర్వాత గురు పౌర్ణమి చేశాము. తర్వాత దత్త జయంతి చేశాము. ఆ దత్త జయంతి రోజున స్వామి ఈ మంత్రాన్ని చెప్పి, ఇది ద్వాదశాక్షరి మంత్రం, ఇది అందరూ ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళు చేసుకోండి. అప్పుడు 33633 ఫోను నెంబర్ ఉండేది. అప్పుడు 2 కలిపి లేదు. ఎట్లాగైతే 33633 చేస్తే నేను ఫోన్ ఎత్తి హలో అని మీతో మాట్లాడతాను, ఈ ఫోన్ ఎత్తి హలో అని మాట్లాడేంత టైం కూడా అక్కర్లేదు మీకు. ఓం శ్రీ సాయిరాం గురుదేవ దత్త అని మీరు స్మరణ చేసుకుంటే మీ బాధలు, మీ కష్టాలు, మీ ఆలోచనలు అన్నీ నాకు వచ్చేస్తాయి. ఎమ్మటే మీకు వాటికి పరిష్కారం నేను చెప్పేయగలుగుతాను. అందుకని ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళు ఎవ్రీ సెకండ్ ఓం శ్రీ సాయిరాం గురుదేవ దత్త అనేది చేసుకోండి అని అప్పుడు మాకు అందరికీ ఆ మంత్రాన్ని ఉపదేశం చేశారు.
Swami gave the mantra Om Sri Sai Ram Gurudev Datta for the first time during the Datta Jayanti celebrations in 1986. And he mentioned that, it takes some time for you to dial my number, 33633. By saying this mantra, my blessings will reach you much faster than what it takes to make a phone call. So every time, everyone, he implores all devotees to chant mentally or loud this great mantra of Om Sri Sai Ram Gurudeva Datta.
And we are sitting right in front of the Guru Peeth that we have here, and towards our right is Vishwa Mandir with 8 doors leading to the
Trimitadi.
same one area. So suggesting that with different paths we reach to the same destination. And not only the idea of oneness has been very, very important in the teachings of Vishwa Yogi Vishwamanji Maharaj, he also lays emphasis on truth, purity, character and unity. And it is his grace that we are talking about all these four aspects at length. And after having spoken to him about truth, today we will be focusing on purity and why he considers purity as important for human beings. Baba, purity word also changes its meaning for different people. Let me first of all thank you for finding time to talk to us, and allow me to ask you, what is it that you consider as purity?
It is a very good question. So, purity is very essential for any person to become immortal. Not only in the spiritual field, but also in our day-to-day life, we have to purify our body, mind, word, and our life also. Then our life becomes shining, blooming, and we can attract each and everyone towards ourselves with purity. That's why where there is purity, there God lives. God's residence is the heart of the person who purifies his body, mind and word. So purity is very important. If there are impurities in our body or in our mind, we can't receive the cosmic current and we can't become immortal. So mortal person has to become immortal. So if we want to become immortal, we must purify our body, mind and word. Suppose take body is the temple of the Lord and heart is the altar of the Lord. So we are telling each and everybody, our Shastras also telling, Vedas also telling that the human body is the mobile temple on the earth, in the world. So first and foremost we have to strengthen the body and we have to purify for that, first of all. So Sapta Dhatus are there. Ekasa Rudras are there in our body. Ekasa Rudras means Panchapranas, Panchapapranas and Mahaprana. Then we have to purify our respiration, Swasa. So doing the breathing exercises and reciting the mantra given by the Guru, mixing and merging with the Swasa, we can purify the lungs, blood and inside each and every organ also we have to purify, not only outside. We are taking bath 2 times or 3 times every day, washing with the soap and purifying the body. It is essential. But not only that, we have to purify the mind. We have to purify the inner parts of the body also, blood. We have to, it is the first and foremost duty to purify our blood. The purification in our body itself, it is made by the divine will, by nature. We are purifying the blood, we are purifying the urine, etc. We are purifying each and every part of the inner body. The nature itself, the system is like that in our body. So lungs, what are the lungs doing? Lungs purifying the blood, taking the oxygen and giving out the carbon dioxide and impurities. So taking the oxygen into the blood, it is purifying the blood, taking away the impurities like carbon dioxide, etc. So after purifying the blood, it is becoming red and it is going to the part, every part of the body inside and every particle, and then there it is giving food and oxygen and taking the impurities again, and it is going to the lungs and it is giving out the carbon dioxide and impurities. the skin also, through the skin, there are so many entrances are there, openings, and every hair. So sweat is coming out. Along with the sweat, the impurities are also coming. Through urine also, we are making the impurities to go out. The system itself, the system of the body itself is like that, taking the oxygen and taking the purity inside and making the impurities go out. So, if purity is not an important process, why the God in this system made this a particular one, important one? So, we have to purify not only the body, not only the inner parts of the body, but we have to purify the mind also. The brain is the main controlling power, controlling station over the body, rolling over the body to the controlling station. So we have to purify the mind also. It is just like a computer, natural computer given by the Lord. So it is downloading, and it is also sending emails or anything, getting the emails and storing something, and whenever it wants it is recalling. Everything is there, and cells also is there, chips also there, chips, and virus also is there. Virus is also coming. Virus, just like computer is getting the virus, brain also getting the virus. So we have to take it off, clean the mind. What is that CD or anything we are putting? Focus, jhana. So we have to teach each and every child, each and every man how to do jhana, how to do that is yoga. If you focus your mind on a particular dot or a person or a picture or anything, if you keep like that focusing for 5 minutes, it is sufficient. 5 minutes also sufficient. Then what the man is getting? The man is releasing the impurity inside the body and the mind also. Mind is purifying, taking away all the virus outside and keeping it a clean condition, so as powerful and peaceful, so as it can work quickly and getting the recalls quickly and useful for the society. That is very important.
That was beautiful, Baba, the way you explained how the natural system also is geared at purifying us, and that of course underlines the importance of purity. And you mentioned about the purity of mind, and sometimes when you look at somebody's eyes you feel that the person is pure, like the way one would feel while looking at your eyes is not the way one would feel while looking at somebody else's eyes. Sometimes what is in our mind also is seen through our eyes also. My question to you, Baba, is the kind of world in which we live, mostly through media also, called films or television serials, the kind of material which is creatively presented before our minds is not helping in focusing and purifying our mind. So there is an additional challenge which is there in front of the upcoming generation. These kind of material, call them vulgar, are also available on internet, and a lot of people visit those web sites which are impurifying their mind. So this additional challenge which is there for the modern man in order to attain purity of mind, how can they counter it? Let me quickly add to it. If we suggest that we should abstain from watching movies or reading literature, then also probably you will be staying away from the current pulse of the time.
This is also a good question, and it is a doubt in every mind also. Why? How to purify the mind? Our youth, if they see the TV serials or anything, so 90% of the TV channels are transmitting so many in the name of the serials, in the name of this and that, in the name of entertainment, in the name of anything or midnight masala or anything. What they are doing? They are telling it for the only adults. who are watching it, not adults. If we put only for adults, the innocent girls and boys, adolescents, they are very anxious to see what is in that. So we should not confuse the mind of the children. We should not pollute the minds of the children. So why I have given truth, purity, unity and character. Truth, character, purity, unity. These four are 5 stones, pillars. Not only these 4, non-violence is also there. These mainly truth, character, purity, unity. These 4 are main pillars for the development of humanity. If any person wants to become immortal, the purpose of spirituality is to make each and one person powerful and peaceful. He must gain immortality. He must become immortal. For that, these 4 are very essential. So we should not pollute the minds of the children. If we give the unnecessary, unwanted scenes and situations to enter into the minds of the children, they can confuse and they may be misguided, and their character will be in a dangerous position. So perfect character, true education is character. If a character is not there, if you lose the character, that means we are losing each and everything. Health, power, mortality, everything, mortality or anything, everything we are losing. So we should make the children away from impurities, these unnecessary scenes showing the luxurious, unwanted things which we don't want to see also. So your question is very important question, and even the governments also encouraging it. They are not stopping, they are not trying to stop. In the name of fashion parade, we are showing the people without wearing even a single dress also. Then what is the condition of the adolescents, children? They may be confused and they may be dragged to do some unwanted things. So we should take care of that. Your question is very good. Purity. If we want to purify our mind, we should not make to anything impurity entering into the minds of the children. That is very important. Children. Adolescents. We must think about the adolescents. Adolescent is, that is teenagers. Teenager means 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. These 7 years are teenage. It is the turning. It is very important period in the man's or woman's life, person's life. So we must be very careful. The parent should observe the children. The teachers in the school or college should observe. The leaders also should observe, not to pollute the minds of the adolescent or teenagers. It is very important.
So the importance, of course, is there that there should be focus and concern on the part of parents that their children do not see the kind of things which are going to impurify their minds, or they have to observe certain ways which are helpful for them in keeping their mind pure.
पहले मेरा बेटा इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ने के टाइम पे पापा के पास आया है। पहले मैं वो टाइम पर उसको माना कर दिया, अरे क्यों पढ़ने के टाइम में क्यों जा रहे उधर, पहले पढ़ो बोल के, मगर वो मेरा बात नहीं सुना। मगर बाद में वो स्टडीज़ होने के बाद में पूरा फैमिली बाबा को पास आ गया, क्योंकि बाबा मेरा बेटा को उतना बड़ा कर दिया। वो एवरेज स्टूडेंट है इंटरमीडिएट में, मगर वो इंजीनियरिंग सीट आया, वो बाद में MBA सीट आया, इमीडिएटली गॉट वेरी गुड जॉब विद द ब्लेसिंग्स ऑफ बाबा। आफ्टरवर्ड्स बाबा एक बार पूछा था, अरे फॉरेन जाने के इंटरेस्ट है क्या बोले, मगर वो काम कर रहे ना, वो उनको चांस नहीं रहा था, मगर वो बोले, स्वामी बोले अरे आएगा फॉरेन चल जाओ बोल के। वो मेरा बेटा पूछा, स्वामी जी ऐसा बोल रहे, डैडी मुझे तो चांस तो नहीं है, देखेंगे बोले। 15 दिन के बाद में टॉप मैनेजमेंट बुला के उनको फॉरेन भेज दिया।
तो ये बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग भी बात है और इम्पोर्टेंट भी बात है जब एक पिता ये कहते हैं कि बाबा के संपर्क में आने से बेटे को और अच्छा कर दिए। तो ऐसे कैसे वो अच्छा कर देते हैं, हम उनके बेटे से पता करेंगे। पर उसके पहले आपने खुद ने अपनी फैमिली में और क्या डिफरेंस बाबा के संपर्क से पाया?
बहुत है जी, वो तो बाबा के संपर्क से मन में खुश है हमेशा। वो कुछ तकलीफ आए तो हमें फ़ोन कर देते, वो सब हो जाता। फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम भी कम हो गया, पहले बहुत था।
First, actually, my brother came here. I came here in 2002, first time New Year, 2000 New Year. I came with him. Actually, I didn't have much interest in coming here. Afterwards, I came with my family, and I got very much what it's called attracted or anything. So it's really good feeling.
What your dad was telling me, based on that, I feel that meeting Baba helped you in doing good in your studies. So was it you improved your concentration or you became more focused? What happened if you try to look back and see how that inner changes occurred?
A lot of changes in my life, not directly but indirectly. He's showing whatever is good for me, not in direct manner, showing in any form. Actually, I was not interested in engineering. Actually, I'm not interested to write an entrance examination for engineering. Actually, my mother told to write entrance, and I did it without preparation. I got free seat in engineering.
And also something tells me that mostly youngsters, either they don't want to go to people who look like spiritual people, and also if you accomplish something, you want to take the credit for it. But as your dad was saying, by Baba's grace, you got into engineering and then you got a good job. So do you also feel in the same way, or do you feel, no, I did it?
No, I have the same feel. What he said, I agree with him.
And how would you explain this to somebody who disagree with it? Let's say there's no...
Depends on their mentality or whatever, their thinking process or whatever.
So ultimately there's no need to explain, it is a matter of experiencing, and he did it, and he's perspiring but he's full of joy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Which destroys the obstacles, and this power came into existence from the universal power, Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Samaikya, Vishwa Suri Shakti. It came from that power to destroy all the obstacles. So we have to worship Ganapati as a power. As a power. This is the base. Ganapati Mooladhara is the base for 8 stored building from bottom to the Sahasrara, and to follow the real truth. This is the real truth. It is the power, Abhighna power, who takes away all the obstacles in our work, in our duty, in our life, and gives victory in our life. So, Abhignamastu, Sarva Vigna Vinasamastu, Sakala Devata Paripurna Anugraha Praptirastu, Ashtaishwarya Praptirastu, Akhanda Lakshmi Saubhagya Praptirastu. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Gam Sreem Lakshmi Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Gam Shreem Lakshmi Ganapataye Namaha.
Vakratunda Mahakaya
Vakratunda Mahakaya
Koti Surya Samaprabha
Koti Surya Samaprabha
Nirvignam Kurume Deva
Nirvignam Kurume Deva
Sarva Karyeshu Sarvada
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 Sarva Karyeshu Sarvada.
एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्तिः प्रचोदयात्